Alright, now we're doing 7Q. Do you know how to make query string? This is by Isqua, and 85% of the people like it. Query string is a way to serialize object which is used in HTTP requests. You may see it in URL looking like this. The part query, query string represents that parameter Q that parameter Q has value query string, and also sometimes query string used in HTTP post body like thus. Alright, all the way down, and our task is to write a function that converts an object to a query string. So we're going to get this, and we want it to come out looking like this. Okay? So to do that, let's get rid of this first. We'll return at the end. First, we're going to have to put somewhere. We're going to have to store some results. So we're going to say let result equal blank. It's going to be a blank array. Okay. So first things first, we're going to do a for loop. With this for loop, we're going to do a for in statement, and the for in statement iterates over all enumerable properties of an object. Okay, so the in is for object. All right. So we're going to say for, and then to start off with, let me go over down here. The syntax is for, and then like a const variable in object. Okay. So for this one, we're going to say for key in object, since we're looking for the key, this part of the object. All right. And then we're going to have to we're going to be using this the object key thing to get the key value a lot. So we're going to say let value equal object key, like that. So now we've got that done. We're going to do an if statement. We're going to say if, oops, and now we're going to use this array is array, and it just determines whether a pass value is an array. So we're just checking if this is either a single number or an array like this. So we're going to say if array dot is array, and we're checking to see if value is it. So we're checking to see if this is it, or this, excuse me, this is an array. And if it is, for the element of the array, for each element of the array, we're going to do a for in statement. And let me pull up the for of. The for of statement creates a loop iterating over iterable objects, included strings, array, whatnot, but not like this one, which is just for objects. Okay, so we're going to do the for, and then we're going to say, what am I saying for here? We're going to say let here. My bad. So we're going to say let element. Was it of? Yeah, of value. So the element of value, if value is an array, okay, we're going to say, and then now we're going to do a template literal. All right, let me show you about template literals. Pardon me. We're going to push. Okay, let me go back. We're going to say result dot push. And we're going to use the push method, which adds one or more elements to the end of the array and returns a new length of the array. So like right here, animals.push cows, it's going to push cows to the end of this array. So we're going to push into result, we're going to push this template literal, which template literals are literals delimited with backtick characters, allowing for multi-line strings, string interpolation with embedded expressions, and for special constructs called tag templates. We're going to be using this string interpolation with embedded expressions. And here's the embedded expression right here, a $sign with the curly braces surrounding an expression. And here's the backtick characters right here that make the thing know that it's a template literal. So we're going to put the backtick characters, which are to the left of the 1 and above the tab key. And inside here, we're going to say $ curly braces, and then we're going to say equals, just like over here, this foo equals 1. We're going to say $ curly braces, and then an equals $ curly braces, okay? And in the first thing, we're going to say key, and then the second thing, we're going to say element. That's not how you spell element. Element, all right? And that's the first thing we're going to check for, right? So we've got that done. Now we're going to go back here and say else, okay? And if it's not an array and it's just a single number, we're going to say result.push, and then we're going to do the backtick characters again, and then we're going to do the same thing. We might as well just drag this down here real quick. Get rid of these backticks. Drag this down here, and instead of element, we're going to put in their value. All right, so that it's just the value. So this is the whole value, and this is the value. These are the elements in the value. All right. Now that we're done with that, we're going to return result. Right now it's still an array. Let me show you. Let's test it out. See, right now it's still an array. So we need to join it by these ampersands. So now we're going to use this join right here. The join method creates and returns a new string by concatenating all of the elements in an array or an array-like object separated by commas or a specified separator string. So basically, if you put nothing in there, it'll be separated by commas. This one's separated by the spaces between characters. This one's by dashes. What we're going to use is ampersand. So we're going to say result.join, separate it by ampersands. Let's see what happens. All right, that works. Great, great, great. Except for, I think that's a lot of typing. Okay, I think we can get this a little bit shorter, a little bit fewer lines. Okay, so let's go over here. Let's say const this, and then let's put right here, let's put an equal sign, delete this parentheses. After this parentheses, let's do an, after object, let's do an arrow function, and then let's just take the rest of this stuff and make it disappear. Okay, so now we're going to use a different method. We're going to use this object keys method to return an array of a given object's own enumerable property names iterated in the same order that a normal loop would. So basically it's going to take the key value, the keys, and it's going to put it in an array thusly. All right, so let's do, what was it, object dot keys, and inside this inside these parentheses we're going to put object. Okay, and it just so happens that obj is obj. All right, now after that we're going to do a map method. So let me show you the map method. Creates a new array populated with the results of calling a provided function on every element in the calling array. It's pretty much just like a for loop. So here's the element will be x, and so on each element we're going to multiply it by 2. So 1 times 2 is 2, 4 times 2 is 8, 9 times 2 is 18, 16 times 2 32. Let's run it, check it out. And we're just going to be using this arrow function syntax. We don't got to mess with any indexes or arrays right now. So let's go knock that out. Let's do a map. And with that map, we're going to say inside here, element 1, because we're going to have to do this map twice. And we're going to do the arrow function. And then with that, we're going to say object of, and then we're going to go element 1. So we're getting the key value here of this object, of the key values. We're getting the values, the key values. We're getting this part here right now, okay? And so we say object element 1, and then we're going to turn it to a string by using the toString method, which is this one right here. The object, make sure you get object and not number, well, if you're researching it. The toString method returns a string representing the object, okay? Basically, that's it. So we're going to say after the bracket, we're say dot toString, and we're going to then split it. And let me show you split real quick. There's split toString. Here's split. The split method divides a string into an ordered list of substrings, puts these substrings into an array, and returns the array. So basically, we're going to say split by the commas, by these commas right here, okay? So we're going to say dot split by the commas, all right? And now after that, we're going to do another map, dot map. So we're mapping this now. At first we were mapping this, but now we're mapping this inside of this. Okay. So we're going to map, and then we're going to say element2, arrow function. And now we're going to do the template literal again. So we're going to say $, curly braces, equals, $, curly braces, and here we're going to say element1, and here we're going to say element2. All right. Now we're going to join these ones together. We're going to join it by the ampersands on this level. So dot join. And right here we're going to join it by ampersands. Okay. And now outside this level, we're going to join it by ampersands one more time just to make sure. Let's test and see what it looks like so far. Almost good, but it needs to be perfect. Okay. So we're going to join it one more time. Dot join, and let's check her out. Test. All right, perfect. All right. That's a lot going on. Let's attempt it. But you got to do what you got to do when you're programming, you know what I'm saying? All right, so submit it. And I very much like this one. Let's go to My Solutions. Just me. Best practice, in my opinion. And we'll see you next time.